and welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited that you're here today. Today I have just a get ready with me. We're gonna talk makeup. We're gonna talk living abroad, which is a fun topic for me to talk about. If you know me personally, you know about my travels, and I'm just gonna talk about some really funny stories that happened and just get ready with you. So let's head into it. Alright, so I'm gonna start by just prepping my face. I'm going to use this Dr. Brandt antioxidant face cream that I got in my BoxyCharm. I was going to do a BoxyCharm video, but then I got all the stuff and it was just a lot of skincare, not my type, not my alley. So I am no longer going to do that. But I will try to do it next month. I love when I get like face palettes. That's always really fun for me. Alright, so let's start off just prepping the skin here. My face was so dry, so this feels amazing. Alright, next I'm going to go in with this Symbiosis London, and it's just a little eye mask. Wow. Focusing when I'm not behind the camera is very hard. Struggling to focus on its own. I feel like I am seeing more videos on just people's like lifestyle and beauty opposed to people talking about makeup or doing makeup tutorials. So that makes me a little sad because I know there's so many young girls out there that don't know how to do their makeup. I know personally my mom didn't really do her makeup, so I didn't really learn from her. I just learned from, you know, sometimes looking like a clown and very dark looks, which I wouldn't do today, and I maybe wouldn't have done if people back in the day had taught me. So I am hoping to put a few videos on here for girls who are just starting to do their makeup and need a little helpful tips. Alright, but I feel like that's what old YouTube was, like people doing just tips. Today we're just chatting and getting ready, and I'm just showing you what I'm using. I'll be using the new Pretty Filter Icy Sherbet Primer from Touch and Soul. I actually really like this. It smells so good. It's like a, I don't know, like a sherbet smell for sure. Okay, so if you didn't know, I lived in Spain in 2018 and I lived there for about 10 months. 10 months, and it was one of the best years of my life. 2019 has to be the best year because that's the year I got married and the year my husband and I got our house, but 2018 also was very much up there. And I just feel so thankful and blessed to be able to share stories because I know that's not everyone's realities. But I just have a few funny stories to share. So I went to Spain to teach English while also getting my master's degree in teaching Spanish as a second language. And it really was like one of the greatest experiences I've ever had. I'm going to go in now with my hyaluronic lactic vitamin B3 mint lip serum from Avant. I got it on BoxyCharm as well. Kind of feels a little weird, but my lips are really dry right now. And I want to do like a red lipstick look. So I'm going to add this in right here. Anyways, when we got to Spain, before we went to Spain, I had someone in the program. Sorry, I'm going to be talking and doing my makeup at the same time. So I just might pop in with different products, okay? So I'm going to use the Benefit Brow Styler eye pencil. This side has like the pencil side to it, and then this side has like a powder side. I am the biggest, firmest believer in the stain that stains your eyebrows. The other day I did a photo shoot and I used like a pencil like this, And I didn't realize that, so like I have no hair, so for it to like stay on its own, it just like ends up like slipping and smudging and looking brown and gross. But I was like, oh, let's try this. I was actually using the Nude Sticks brow pencil with the gel. And as I was like taking pictures, it got everywhere. I got home and there was just like brown all over my face, and I was like, great, awesome. I'm glad the people who got their pictures taken looked amazing, but I was super embarrassed. Oh well, stuff happens. That's why you learn what you like and you don't like. Anyways, back to my story about living in Spain. So we were going to, and I say we because a friend of mine from college was also doing the program and we were living together. But I had decided that we had to like find a place to live, right? Like, and so this girl from the program that was also doing it, that also lived in Tucson, knew someone from a study abroad that she had done previously. And I was like, oh great, we're gonna live with this lady, it's gonna be all set, it's gonna be awesome. We reached out to the lady, you know, about us living there, and it was fine. It seemed like it was gonna be a really great deal. She was like, oh, I can cook and we can do laundry and stuff, like was part of the package that we were signing up for. And I was like, okay, I'm not sure I needed that, but you know, just an extra incentive. And I knew I was going to be going into school, so I was like, okay, I'll probably be kind of busy, right? So like this is all good stuff happening. We lived right outside of Madrid in a little town called Alcalá de Henares, and we just didn't really know what to expect. You know, I had never been to Spain before. I didn't know what the culture was like, what the people were like. I had no idea how much you should be paying for a room, okay? And so this lady was charging us about $600 or euros, which is more than dollars, 600 euros to rent a room. Okay, and it was a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom room. And I was like, okay, well, at that time we were only making 1,000 euro stipend. So I'm like, okay, that leaves us $400 for food and, you know, other expenses. But I was like, okay, that's fine. It's gonna be okay. We'll make it work. But like deep down, I always kind of had this like feeling, right? Like, okay, I didn't really know what to expect. It was a little scary. So we just went for it. I realize I'm going so slow because I am talking about all the makeup. So I'm just gonna, if you see something new that I'm using, I'm just gonna put a little something around here so you know what I'm using, and I'm just gonna keep telling my story while I do my makeup. Anyways, we thought, okay, it's fine, it's gonna be a good idea. We get to Spain and it was just kind of uncomfortable, okay? I don't want to talk bad about anyone or anything, but it just wasn't the best living situation. I didn't really feel like I had my freedom in that house, so we kind of just decided that that was not the place for us. Another big factor is that we ended up realizing that in that town, it's not like, you're not like living in New York, right? You're not living in the middle of Madrid. So really, it shouldn't have cost that much to live in just a bedroom. So we started looking for apartments, quickly to realize that people were paying probably half as much as what we were paying to live in the room. So together, we were just really like being taken advantage of with that living situation. So we decided to move out, which was kind of scary because, well, we hadn't signed an agreement, right? So we didn't have a contract. It just felt like there needed to be change in order for us to survive that year. And so thankfully we started researching about different apartments. And this is like a big moment where I'm like, wow, God is so good, because we, the way that they rent out in Spain is really different. They use like agencies to rent out their apartments, and that's just like a normal thing. But if you rent out through an agency, you have to pay like a fee to the agency, which is like a month's worth of rent, which is a lot. But we had found this number of this guy online, and in his memo he's like, oh, I don't want college students, because it was a college town. La Universidad de Alcalá was in that town, but he had said he didn't want college students. So I was kind of like, oh, we're not gonna get this, we're not, you know, we're college students, even though we were grad students. We ended up calling him and just saying like, oh, we're pretty calm girls, you know, we are graduates, you know, trying to persuade him into letting us live there. And it turns out it was like his direct number, so we didn't even go through the agency, and we didn't have to pay the fee, and we ended up living there at maybe half of the cost of what we were paying at the other place, which was amazing. And then we had an extra room, and we ended up renting out to one of my really good friends now, who was from Ireland, who was also doing like a study abroad kind of thing, teaching practicum, I guess. And so yeah, that story really taught me a lot of kind of like complacement, right? And like sticking to your gut. I was honestly really scared to like tell the other lady that we weren't living there anymore. And I had paid her some money already, and so it was just scary. And honestly, the lady did not react very well to it, which kind of just shows like the situation and how uncomfortable it really was to be living there. And it was like a little on the aggressive side when we were telling her, which, you know, we had at that time already packed up our stuff to leave, because it was just not working out. We just didn't feel safe and comfortable, and so yeah, we left, and the new living arrangement was so much better. But a funny story to go along with that living situation, it was like, jet lag is so real. Jet lag was bad. I think it was just like all the stress of not knowing where you were gonna be, what you were gonna be doing. I got there, and like I feel like a week flew by, and I just didn't have the energy to like leave the room. So it was just like sleeping there and being there, and it was just like not very comfortable. And so I was in the room for quite some time, and then we both kind of got energy and mustered enough energy to like leave and explore. And so we went to explore the little plaza in Alcalá, and so we left, we came back, and just like the architecture is just so different. You know, here in the States, in Tucson, you have your house and streets, and like there's no buildings, right? But everyone there lives in pisos, just like a city, right? And like I wasn't used to that. I never had seen that in any other place. Even like the cities I knew, like Phoenix isn't like that. We're a city, but we're not like that. In Mexico, and Hermosillo isn't pisos, it's like individual houses. So it was just really different, and we had to get used to it. So we leave, and we're coming back, and we enter the building, and we didn't have to use our key to enter the lobby because some lady was coming out, and I was like, oh, perfect. We entered the building, we went up the stairs, and we get to the door, and we're like getting the keys out, opening the door, and we were struggling so hard to open this door. Like probably like 15 minutes just sitting there trying to open this door, unlock it. The lady had gone to work, so like getting in was our only option. About like 15 minutes pass. And I'm like, what's happening? We're locked out. Who knows how long we're gonna have to stand in the hallway for our tenant to come back to open the door for us. And we hear a sound. I'm like, oh, she's home. She's gonna open the door for us. And this little Spanish older woman comes out so angry, and she's like, what are you doing? Are you trying to rob me? And it's clearly not the right house. So what had happened is that we went into the building next door that looked exactly the same to the building we were in, and we were trying so hard to open that door, and it was just so embarrassing. The lady was not very happy with us, and you know, we're like trying to explain that we were American and we had no idea where we're at, and it was just, I think that was one of my biggest fails. Rightfully so, you know, I was tired, jet lagged. That was like the first time we had left the house, so no idea what was happening. And they're just like mistakes that have to happen, right? It's like a funny story now. I just like picture the old woman who opened the door, who was probably so scared. Like, she seriously thought we were trying to rob her. And like, that's so sad. I felt so bad for her and like so embarrassed for myself. But anyways, we learned and never once again did that to a building. The apartment we ended up moving to also was like so nice. It was like in the central plaza area. It was very close to the school, so we could walk there. I ended up buying a bike so I could bike to my work, which I think was a great idea because one of the other auxiliares from the school also rode her bike and lived pretty close by, so it was really nice being able to bike to work with someone. Over there, the people don't really use cars very often, which I love. I wish as Americans we could kind of change the way we travel, right? I think we were putting so much extra pollution. And over there, it's just like everyone does it, right? And I feel like here we're just so comfortable with things being the way they are. But imagine being able to change, you know, what we're used to, our customs, and making it normal. You know, in Spain, everyone rode the bus. Little nana, the young people, children. And so it's just like a normal way of life. In Alcalá de Henares, there wasn't any metros, but in Madrid there was, and so those are really nice. And I really do think like using the public bus system is something that we could implement. Like, yeah, it would maybe take longer and there would have to be some changes, but it's just so nice. And like, it was nice knowing, one, I'm not the biggest fan of driving, but it was just nice knowing that you could just sit on the bus, read, do some work, whatever you needed to do, or just like sit and chill while someone else was in charge of driving. Wow, I'm very tan, so you can really see the difference of like my shoulder tan to my face color. So I'm gonna grab something to try to like darken up my face a little bit. Alright, so I got my Huda Beauty like foundation stick. My husband had gotten me this and it's super orangey, but I feel like it might work right now with my summer skin. Do you see that difference in what I have right now? Maybe I can use it to like sculpt and blend what I already have. But if you've lived abroad, what are some of your stories? Or maybe just some of your normal like awkward stories that have happened to you. I feel like I am very much an awkward person. I find I have a really hard time at being able to talk to people, and like this is just something that has always been part of my life. I remember when I was little, my mom used to leave us in Mexico for like a week to stay with my grandma, which was like the best experience ever. But we would stay there, and I remember I just had the hardest time, and it wasn't like a Spanish barrier. I think it had a little bit to do with it, but it was more like the social part of it. Had the hardest time having conversations with people. And there was one day I remember looking at my grandma and my sister, and they were like talking and having a conversation, and I remember looking at my sister and thinking like, wow, I can't wait until I'm old enough to have a conversation like that. Like, very mature conversation in my head, because in my head I'm just like, hi. And I love people doing the talking, because when I talk, I'm just like awkward, I get tongue-tied, I get really nervous around people, which, I don't know, doesn't seem like the case probably with me just chatting for the next 20-25 minutes in this video, but I'm not talking to anyone except my camera. But I just think it's important to practice that, right? There's some really amazing people in my life that I still see, and I'm like, wow, I wish I was as friendly as you, you know? And I just get in my head about things, and I'm just, I don't know. I have a hard time sometimes talking to people. But it's something I'm working on and hoping to get better. I'm great to talk with children, right? Like, I have to do that all day. Talk to my 5th graders all the time. Didn't have a problem. But I think when it comes to talking to other adults, sometimes I get a little nervous, and I don't know why. Alright, so there's like the base of what's happening. I'll let you get a closer look. I'm really into kind of having this eyeliner brown look with the eyeshadow. I dig it. It's fun. Alright, so what else do I have to do? Wet n Wild just made a collab with SpongeBob, and I didn't get to get a lot of their items, but my sister-in-law got me this amazing SpongeBob like sculpting brush, and I use it for contour, and I really love it. It's really nice. So just put it here, blend it out a little bit. It gives a nice sculpted look. I have another funny travel story, which is about my husband, so I don't know if he's gonna get upset if I tell it. I was kind of a jerk when it happened because I was so embarrassed, but I'm still gonna tell it. So he was able to come visit me 2 times while I was away, which was really amazing. I'm hoping to do a video about long distance relationships, because we did that for a whole year, really when our relationship was pretty serious. And so I would love to talk about that experience, because it was really hard. It was one of the hardest things we did. And after that happened, I was like, okay, well, you're the one, because there was a lot going on here, and we still decided to stay together. And so that's when I knew, like, well, I knew pretty early on that he was the one, but that's when I knew, okay, like, we're good. Let's get married. But yeah, so he came to visit in December. I didn't want to go home for Christmas because I just wanted to experience, like, what was Christmas like in another country. I figured that I would be going back at the end of the year, so I wouldn't be able to experience it again. And so I stayed in the town, and he came and visited, and we did like our own like Christmas. Oh, look at that mask thing that I put. It's like making my lips peel, but I think that's a good thing, or my lips are just super dry. Hold on, let me take this off camera. Alright, my lips are set. They feel a lot better. Okay. Anyways, as I was saying, he came and visited for December, which was really nice to have him and be able to experience Europe in wintertime. Europe in wintertime is super amazing because they have a lot of like little holiday markets, and they just like sell like roasted chestnuts. Like, how cute is that? Like, Tucson, we don't do very many cute things like that, unfortunately. So it was just really nice to see. And we decided to go to Paris to experience, you know, Paris in December. And we went on our trip. And when we were getting to Paris, we took a metro to our like our hotel, Airbnb, and we were getting off the subway and we're carrying our luggage, right? Because we had just gotten out from the airport, and like the metros have like those doors, right? And they open and they close, and there's like enough time for you to pass by. And so like, you know, I thought through it. I'm like, okay, I can't like pull the luggage behind me because it's gonna get stuck. It has to go like with me, in front of me. And like, this is something I had already picked up on just by seeing people in the metro. And so I was like, okay, we gotta do this. I'm going and I pass and I'm like walking and talking to Marcel, and then like there's no response, and I'm like, what? So I turn around, I see him. He had decided to walk through the gate first, and then the doors closed on his suitcase. And the doors were like closed, and then all the other ones were like jammed. And it was like making this weird noise. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this cannot be happening right now. And so he's like stuck, like, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know if he was like stuck behind it or in front of it. I think in front of it. He's like stuck in front of it, and he's like, what do I do? And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Then these people pass, and like younger couple pass, and they are just laughing at this situation, right? Like, I don't know. I feel like Europeans kind of, I don't know. I love America. I love Americans, but you know, we're not the cream of the crop like we think we are everywhere in the world. Like, that's just the reality, right? Like, every culture has its preference, its ideas, and so, I don't know, I just was kind of like, oh my gosh, they're gonna think we're dumb Americans, like, getting our luggage stuck. So I was pretty embarrassed. He ended up going and getting our luggage, like asking someone in a booth there to open it up, had to come, like, do this unlock thing, all the doors opened, and he was able to take his luggage. And I was honestly, like, just so upset because I was like, you could have thought that one through, right? And you didn't. And I don't know. I wish I could have shown him a little bit more grace in that situation. But now I look back at it and I'm just like, it's funny. Also a funny story that you get to tell. All right, I'm going to do my eyes, just my mascara off camera, and I'll be right back. All right, so the eyelashes are done. I have been using the Sky High Maybelline mascara, and I really highly recommend this. It kind of reminds me of a dupe for the Thrive Cosmetics, which if you've seen other videos, it's one of my favorites. I'm trying to get the brush. No. Wow. It really only wants to focus over here. Anyways, it's a tubing mascara, and I just really like it. I feel like it gives me a lot of volume, a lot of length. Right now it's kind of clumpy. I feel like I need to get a new one. I don't think it lasts as long. Like, the product inside lasts as long as the Thrive Cosmetics ones, but it's really nice, pretty easy to wash off, which is what I look for in a mascara, because I had been using mascaras for a really long time and always had like these dark under eyes. Switched to different kinds of mascara, their Origins and Thrive, and it just washes off better, and I feel like I found my drugstore dupe for that, so that's pretty nice. I am going to finish my lipstick, which I am going to use this NYX Shine Loud on a Mission lipstick. I've been looking for these for so long. It's the one that has like the color, the lip stain on one end, and then the gloss on the other end. And so like this end will stay, and then the gloss like comes off, but no color comes off. I've been looking for these in like a neutral color, but they're out. Like, they got so famous on TikTok, and I've not been able to find normal colors. So I was like, you know what, red, I'll do red, because that's one you might not want to come off, and yeah. So I'm going to do this really quickly, and then we'll keep chit-chatting. Alright, so here is the base on. It does not stick. As you can see, it doesn't transfer. And then you put this gloss on top. And I'm sure you have seen a lot of people use this. They're going to put the gloss. It also doesn't transfer. It's just so cool. I love it. And it's super glossy. It's like a very, I don't know, baby doll look. Just keep adding all the gloss on there. Alright, and so here is my look. Something fun, something simple. I'm all about simple. The purple hair is probably leaving soon. I think I'm ready to go back to brown. Right now, I think it looks super cool, especially in this lighting. I put like the overtone on it, and then like the bottoms were kind of pink, so you can kind of see like the pink and purple dimension. So if you are gonna get overtone, I recommend pink and purple together. It looks really cool. It blends in super well together. Anyways, I wanted to share a few little tips if you're planning on studying abroad or living abroad or whatever abroad. I have a little recommendation for you. Something that I cherish so much are these two notebooks. A friend gave me this one when I was leaving, and then this one I got once I was living there. In this little small one, I put just like everyday things that I learned. Okay, like this, me mola. And then like what it means. Funny stories. Oh, this is another little funny story when I forgot to fill up my abono, which is like my bus pass. And the guy did not let me get on. And I was like, I promise I'll pay it. So I was late to wherever I was going. Also, like, kept some business cards from places I traveled to, which is cool because now if I ever go back or if I ever want to recommend anything to anyone, I have those in there. This is where I got my tattoo. Monkey Revenge, apparently. Yay! I did this on a limb, just walked into a tattoo parlor in Italy and was like, hey, I want a tattoo. Does it look the greatest? No, but that's okay. Hey, we love it. Memories. So that's what I wrote in this notebook. And then in this notebook, I wrote more of like my feelings, what I was experiencing. I really love to draw, so like look at Morning to Spain, what I wrote, how I was feeling. Then like this is my Paris trip. These are super fun. I got to sit there and just draw the cathedral. This restaurant that we went to that had this logo, obviously not as creepy looking. But it was just really nice to just like write about my experiences, and now I can read them years later and remember. And it's really nice because you end up forgetting, you know, like time goes by. 2018 seems like a lifetime ago. I loved living there and I wish I could have stayed for more years, but it went by like that. And so having this journal and being able to document everything that I did was really a great idea that I really recommend. Alright, so that was my look and that was my chit-chatting about living abroad. I hope you had fun listening to my stories. I would love to hear if you guys have any funny, awkward stories of any travel things that you did, or just, you know, being awkward little jellyfish like me. I also am excited to announce my giveaway! So we have reached 100 in our community, which means it is time for my 100 subscriber giveaway, which honestly I just feel so incredibly thankful that someone would sit here and watch my videos. I know that a lot of my students did, so thank you so much, guys. I really, really, truly appreciate it. I really want to dig a little bit deeper and start doing YouTube a little bit more. with the world the way that it is. I just want to put out a lot of positive energy for those that might need it. Like, I sometimes need a video to encourage me, to help me, and I want to be that person for, if I can do that for one person, like, my goal is met. So for my giveaway, I am giving away the 9V Morphe palette. I'll put it right here so that you can see it. It's super pretty. I really love the colors. Great for an everyday look. I will also be giving away a macrame keychain from a local Tucson artist. She has her own small business. This is the one I got for myself. I will be ordering one for the 100 giveaway winner. So cute to go on your keychain. She does an amazing job. Like, her work is just so crisp and beautiful. And you will be getting a $25 gift card. In order to win the giveaway, there are a few things that you need to do. All right, first thing you have to do in order to be entered in the giveaway is make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. If you're new here and you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button. Second thing, you have to comment something on this video. Tell me your favorite travel story, or what is your favorite makeup product right now. What would you like to hear from me in the future? And those are really the two things you have to do to be entered into the giveaway. I will be drawing the winner in my next video and reaching out to them on there. So good luck. And it was so nice to be able to be your slice of bread today. Thank you for taking the time to watch my whole video, hear my stories. I don't know if I'm the best storyteller. I'm still working on the whole, you know, like talking to people thing, but I appreciate you listening. I hope you had some fun. I hope you liked this makeup look, and there will be more tutorials for the future. So thank you, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye.